you shall not get any more information of what I struggle with today, for today or for the rest of the next week. The crew of the HMS Wintersheimer. Okay. It's a Gita one. It's Gita. Look, doesn't make it better. Oh, it makes it worse. This is a highly rated one. If a manifestation of SCP-1861 is reported, task force agents from the nearest Foundation outpost are to reroute traffic away from the affected area and prevent civilian interaction with SCP-1861-B instances. A separate team must be deployed with the specific task of locating and preventing access to -A. As -B instances cannot be destroyed with brute force, diplomatic means of preventing civilian abduction should be undertaken if at all possible. Foundation misinformation agents positioned in local news sources and weather monitoring sites are to attribute. SCP-1861 to irregularities in air pressure and large quantities of dust present in storm water. Civilians who enter -A are to be declared legally dead, with causes of death attributed to common inclement weather accidents. Each early photograph of -A surfacing in a small man-made lake. I'll go get my coat. SCP-1861 is an anomalous meteorological phenomenon characterized by heavy precipitation and fog composed of salt water, human blood, and human cerebrospinal fluid. SCP-1861 manifestations are unpredictable, appearing spontaneously and with no regard to an affected area, natural climate, and weather patterns. Manifestations typically occur once every 3 to 6 months and have been recorded occurring in numerous regions across the world. Historical records have confirmed that SCP-1861 has existed since as early as the year 1916. The size of the area covered by SCP-1861 varies from instance to instance, with the largest recorded affected area measuring approximately 5 kilometers squared. Aside from its manifestation, composition, and parent connection to -A, SCP-1861 displays no additional extranormal properties. -A is a single underwater marine vessel that closely resembles B-class boats used by the British Royal Navy in World War I. During each SCP-1861 manifestation, -A will attempt to surface in a body of water that is large enough to contain its full mass. So, like any lake and ocean, okay. So it can just spawn. It could just spawn in the Thames, from all I know. Both natural and man-made bodies of water have hosted manifestations of -A. Also, a giant pool is also good enough. If no body of water large enough to contain the entirety of -A is present, -A will surface in a collection of water with a surface area large enough to encompass its conning tower and topmost platform, even if the collection of water in question is only several inches deep. So if there's like a giant puddle and another giant puddle next to it, then the -A is like, good enough. You're right. Farinelli is who I was thinking about. Yes. We have now come together and figured out who had the balls boiled and who didn't. -B are humanoid entities that emerge from -A during the SCP-1861 phenomenon. -B are dressed in full body suits resembling deep sea diving gear, although with no discernible source of air supply. Instances of -B are uniform in size and possess speed and strength typical of an adult human male. Although most instances are sapient and capable of speech, approximately 9% possess limited intelligence and are only sentient. Instances that are incapable of verbal communication have been recorded, making vocalization similar to the cries of domestic felines, canines, and infant humans. The diving gear worn by -B instances is anomalously durable and cannot be removed except by the instance presently wearing it. If an instance of -B encounters a human subject, it will attempt to persuade the subject into entering -A, claiming that this action would be in the subject's best interest. Subject who refuse may or may not be forcefully taken to -A, depending on the temperament of the -B instance. Come down the ghost, have a few laughs, Come down the ghost, have a couple of beers, have a few laughs. No, I'm good, thank you. I wasn't asking, I was demanding. There was a lot more, he was just more famous for it. Human subjects lured into entering -A will re-emerge during subsequent SCP-1861 manifestation as -B instances. If an -B instance is taken outside SCP-1861's area of effect, it will begin to experience accelerated fatigue and lose consciousness, becoming completely inert until reintroduced into SCP-1861. After manifestation of SCP-1861 has ended, -A will disappear along with any remaining instances of -B. Additionally, blood, cerebrospinal fluid, and saltwater left behind by SCP-1861 will instantly convert to regular rainwater. A similar phenomenon has been observed in SCP-3300, but no causal links have been found. And you have interview log -1. An instance of -B claiming to be a member of the ship's crew. Interviewer D36 receiving questions from Dr. Clutch via remote broadcast. A D-class had to do the interview? That's new. Or at least very rare. I mean, I think, if I recall, this is the very first one that where a D-class has to do the interview. Well, is the interviewer, I mean. That's a first. 36 was sent into an SCP-1861 affected area, instructed to interview an -B instance. Heavy rain can be heard throughout the interview, and -B speech is muffled by the diving gear it is wearing. Yeah, I can't remember a D-class being an interviewer anywhere else, right? Begin log. Who are you?
Samuel Ramsey of the HMS Wintersheimer. We're evacuating the area. Please, you've got to come with me. You're in danger out here.
Why? What's going on? Let me actually get the Bane voice quickly.
I want to break first. I don't have any way to prove this, but I can tell you right now that you're going to die very soon, unless you come with me. And that's not a threat, it's a warning. Something really, really terrible is about to happen here.
What? What's going to happen?
Listen, you've got to trust me on this. When this rain stops, you're going to die. I'm not kidding. You're going to die unless you follow me back to our submarine. You'll be safe there.
Just tell me what's going on. Just tell me what's going to happen after the rain stops.
You won't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
Motherfucker. Look, I know this is going to sound insane, but this isn't the regular rain. It's not from this world. There's another world, a horrible world, and it's leaking into this one. Don't look at me like that. You can see for yourself that isn't normal rain. It's thick. It's red. Please. You just have to trust me. I'm begging here. I'm trying to save your life. I've seen what happens to people after the rain, and I'm trying to save you from that. Just come with me, and I swear we both survive this. You're merely adapted to the submarine. I was born on it, molded by it.
If I took that helmet off, will you die? Interesting question. What kind of world is it? How long has it been happening?
Listen, I want to help you, I swear I do. But if you won't believe me, I have no choice but to go look for someone else who'll come with me. I'm truly sorry, but I can't just stand here arguing with you when there are other people out there I could be trying to save.
End log. That sounds like some bullshit. Instance of -B claiming to be D46. D45 receiving questions from Dr. Clutch via remote broadcast. D45 and D46 adult males of roughly 30 years of age had both been sent into a previous manifestation of SCP-1861. During that time, D45 was instructed to avoid contact with -B instances, and D46 was instructed to enter -A. Heavy rain can be heard throughout the interview, and -B's speech is muffled by the diving gear it's wearing. I believe them. Sure. Oh, this is okay. How do I know that you really sell?
I can tell you that the code is Boy ID. Is that proof enough?
It proves you got his memories at least. So what happened after you went into the sub?
The inside of the sub is pretty much just one long narrow passageway. The thing was full of those diving suit people, along with a bunch of random folks from around town. It was jam-packed in there. You could barely move. You kept getting pushed further and further back as more people entered. The deeper I got, the more certain I was that I hit a wall at the end. But it was like the passageway just kept stretching on forever. About an hour after I first entered, people stopped coming in and the hatch was closed. Then, without any warning, the sub started filling up with water.
Wait, they tried to drown you.
I don't know, man. The water just kept rising higher and higher. People were screaming and panicking and knocking each other over. It was awful. The guys in diving suits tried to keep everyone calm, explaining it was part of the safety procedures. They gave out diving suits to have the rest of us and ordered us to put them on. So we did. I mean, what choice did we have? People who brought their kids and pets were cramming them into the suits just to keep them from drowning to death.
Makes sense. So I guess you were all trapped down there for a whole another 6 months until the next blood rain thing happened.
Actually, we didn't have to wait for very long. That's where things started getting really weird. Once everyone had the diving suits on, they opened the airlock and started letting people leave the sub.
What?
Yeah, we were told not to take the suits off yet though. They told us that when we got off the sub, we wouldn't be able to breathe without our suits, and that everyone who left behind on land would be dead. When I stepped out onto the surface, everyone looked almost exactly like it had an hour ago. I saw the lake, the trees, the boathouse. Everything was where it had been, but...
Whoa. Had something happened? God, Jesus, she is the most roundabout person to talk to.
It's hard to explain. I want to say that it was like everything was underwater, but it was more than that. It was like everything around us was part of the water itself. When you looked up, you didn't see a surface. It just went on forever. And the trees, the boathouses, they weren't solid. They were just different sort of liquid. Even when you stood on the ground, it was kind of like you were swimming in it. Because the ground was liquid. Except you didn't actually have to swim. And even though everything was water, you could still tell that there was a lake there. As if the lake was a pure form of liquidness. Sorry, am I making any sense at all here?
Not a whole lot, no. Hey, Dr. Clutch wants to know how long you guys were out there like that.
The whole 6 months. We lived like that day and night.
Did anyone try taking the suits off?
Of course, especially at first, since everyone was confused and scared. But as soon as someone took the helmet off, the body sort of, I think dissolve would be the best word for it. They weren't solid anymore. They kind of turned into a mist and merged with the water that was all around us. They lost their shape, but you could still tell they were there, shapeless and floating.
How did you guys eat?
We didn't sleep either, we just breathed. Passed time by exploring and talking to each other.
Did you see any animals or other people?
Kinda. We see their bodies. They floated 3 or 4 feet off the ground, and their hair and fur would move like it does when it's underwater. But they always kept their position. Didn't drift away or anything like that. It's really, really weird over there, man. And all the dead things, humans and animals, were missing their eyes. Blood would just keep pumping non-stop from the sockets and they dissipate into the water around them. And their teeth, I can't just say their teeth were gone because that doesn't begin to cover it. It was like someone took a bite out of their face right where their mouth should have been. Teeth, lips, gums, all gone.
And no explanation from anyone. What did you guys who had let you into the sub have to say about all this?
A lot of them said they had the same story we did. The blood rain came, then someone in a suit told them to climb into a sub, then bam, Waterworld. There was this one guy though, he said he was the original captain of the sub. Herschel Guthrie,
or is it Guthrie?
Of the HMS Wintersheimer, was how he introduced himself. Anyway, the guy was a lonely one. Rather
rather ever spoke coherently. If you ask him about the sub, he called it his ark. If you ask him about the water place, he would call it the New World.
Oh, great. What did he say about the people with missing eyes and teeth?
He just said the watcher of eyes and biter of teeth deemed them worthy in crazy talk like that.
How do you wind up back in the real world?
It was pretty sudden, actually. One day, a bunch of guys started yelling for everyone to make their way back to the submarine, said that another area was getting attacked and we needed to rescue as many people as possible.
Alright, real water dimension, mangled floating corpse, infinite submarine. Got all that, Dr. Clutch? Great. But now, why haven't you taken off that suit already, Sal? Sal?
I'm scared, man. I don't know what's real anymore. Hell, I can't say for sure if I'm even really alive. You have these diving suits that wander around moving like people, but barking like dogs and talking like toddlers. We aren't what we used to be before we put on the suits. I'm sorry, man. I don't understand very much of this, but given what I do know, I honestly don't think that we're human anymore.
Better calls. She's suffering, my man. She's having an existential crisis, my man. Dr. Clutch says you got to take off the suit for science and all that. No response for 15 seconds.
I'm just so scared. If I'm not human, what am I? If I take this helmet off, what will I see? 10 seconds pause. Before, when we were in the storm together, the guys in the suits told us that we'd die as soon as the rain stopped. And you know what? During the time I spent in that water place, I found you. Teeth missing and eyes gone. I saw your dead body and I thought maybe those guys were right. Maybe everyone else is really dead. And here you're in front of me. I don't get it. I know it's real, man.
Well, what else are you going to do? Get back into the sub and live in Sea World the rest of your life? Who knows? Maybe it's not too late to get back to normal. If I were you, I think death would be better than whatever kind of hell you're stuck in. Just take off your suits already.
Okay, here goes.
Dash B removed its helmet and large amounts of seawater began to pour from the suit. Nobody was found inside, but two human eyes and a set of teeth were recovered from within the diving suit. Testing performed on the remains revealed that the eyes originally belonged to an 8-year-old female and the teeth to a European red deer. Damn. Not what I expected to happen when they take the helmet off, but that's pretty dope. It seems like once you actually do enter the boat, you pretty much just, you know, stuck in an existential limbo of like what's real, what's not real. Once again, a trend of deers being ridiculously fucked up continues. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, like you go once you're in the boat with the suit on, you just see a whole different dimension. So you of course gonna question which one is the real one. And looks like you as a person are made up out of eyes and teeth, but not your eyes and teeth. Damn. I really like this one. Yeah, no, it's actually really interesting. It's kind of like if you, and it's not like entering. It's not like, it feels like it's not like entering a different dimension. It feels like you're entering the real world, as in like kind of like how like in the Matrix, like oh you wake up and then you see how the world is for what it is. And I wonder if it's supposed to just look like that, because as D46 says, she's not sure like which part is real, and like if anything that she's witnessing is even like is even supposed to be what which side she's witnessing is the real one. So like at the end, it could just be that the SCP is just messing with people by making you think that your side, the regular side, is like is doomed.